Continue our coverage here on CNN News 18 as far as the Delhi blast, the aftermath of it goes. Prime Minister Modi has just visited the hospital, the LNJP hospital here in the national capital, meeting with the blast victims. That is a confidence-boosting measure also to say that their pain will be avenged. That's the message that Prime Minister had sent even while he was in Bhutan, which was a diplomatic engagement that he had to partake in. But now that he is back in the country, the next steps are going to be formulated by this government. And that is exactly what is going to happen in about 2 hours time from now, when the Cabinet Committee for Security meets, and then the full cabinet will be meeting under the leadership of the Prime Minister to discuss what the way forward is going to be. What is it that exactly transpired? What led to the circumstances, the trail that has been investigated, what led to the attack at Red Fort 2 days ago, and what will come from this? That's something that the Prime Minister is going to be at the helm of. My colleagues continue to be with us, getting us more details. Pallavi, before we see the CCS meeting or the full cabinet meeting, is there going to be some sort of private briefing for the Prime Minister? In fact, before I get you in on that, Pallavi, just taking our viewers through these pictures that we've accessed here on CNN News 18. These are images from inside the LNJP hospital, where Prime Minister Modi just a few minutes ago met with the victims of the blast at Red Fort in Delhi 2 days ago. The Prime Minister now has, of course, left the LNJP hospital for 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, but these are images that CNN News 18 has exclusively accessed for you, which shows the Prime Minister there lending a ear to all those who have been affected by this tragedy, all of whom are recuperating at the LNJP hospital 48 hours later. The Prime Minister there ensuring that he meets every single one of them who's still recuperating in the hospital, and telling them that he, his government, the entire country stands with them and their pain will be avenged. Anshul continues to be with us. He's reporting live from outside the LNJP hospital. But Payal, these images that we've accessed now of the Prime Minister meeting with these victims, any inkling of what the conversation was between the Prime Minister and them?
Well, of course, the Prime Minister would have definitely provided a human touch and a healing touch as far as these victims are concerned. It's definitely not an easy thing that you see for them, neither for their families, to see the kind of trauma they've undergone as well. And that's why the Prime Minister, like the head of the family, has gone straight from Bhutan. Once he landed in Delhi after his Bhutan trip, he's immediately rushed to the RML hospital to understand from the victims what really transpired, what it is the situation. We do not know the exact extent of the conversation so far, Poonam, but we definitely do understand the Prime Minister was there to provide them with a touch that nobody else has really done, since the country stands with them, the government stands with them, and therefore a whole of government approach has been applied as far as their welfare is really concerned. That's been the biggest stand that you can expect to see from this visit of the Prime Minister. Remember, he's not even decided to go to his official residence, has stayed come first to the hospital to in fact convey sentiments to the people over there. All help has been extended. Top of the government approach has also been seen over there. In no time after the incident took place, you could see the Union Home Minister, rush to the accident site, go ahead and meet the victims as well. And that is something which one has really seen. So the Prime Minister taking the initiative now. The moment he's landed in Delhi, he's gone there, met the victims, understood from there what really happened. And also, I'm sure would have given them an assurance that every effort will be made to make sure that justice is served.
Now, Payal, even as the Prime Minister was in Bhutan over the last 2 days, he did periodically take updates of where the investigation was going. We're given to understand that there were conversations between Union Home Minister Amit Shah and him over the last 48 hours, apprising him of all the developments. Before the CCS meeting post 5 p.m. today, are we expecting perhaps a briefing privately for the Prime Minister first?
Well, when the Cabinet Committee on Security meets in the evening, the Prime Minister definitely will be getting an update from all the officials concerned over there. The Union Home Minister, of course, will be there in that meeting. The Home Secretary is also expected to be in that meeting, so he will be updated and will be told in terms of what really has been the update as far as the investigation so far is really concerned. One has to understand that this is a detailed investigation, multi-agency probe that has been ordered into the entire matter, and we do not really want to jump the gun right now, but the initial probe, etc., has also already been revealed to multiple networks as well, and that's something that the Prime Minister will be given a minute-by-minute update. And it would be wrong to say that the Prime Minister took off and went off to Bhutan. It was international commitment that the Prime Minister really had. He had to honor that, but the moment he's back, he's going to be taking an update and continues to take an update even when he was in Bhutan.
Right. Payal, do stay on with us. Anshul is also with us, getting us the latest on this. Anshul, you've been outside the LNJP hospital where the Prime Minister just a short while ago left. He's met with all the victims there, pictures of which we are showing to our viewers at the moment. We are expecting some sort of word from the LNJP hospital as well, perhaps to give us a sense of what exactly transpired.
Well, yes, the LNJP hospital since day one, they came on record just once now. It is expected that the LNJP hospital, the MD of the hospital will yet again could come on record and tell us the exact situation of the injured and the exact situation of the deaths and the manner in which the identification process is going on. Also, it is expected that he will come and he could come and brief the media regarding this entire meeting of Prime Minister that has happened with the victims, with the hospital staff as well. But initially, what is being indicated from people who were inside, who heard what was happening, they say that the messaging from the Prime Minister was very clear. He did not just only go ahead and motivate the victims who are fighting with their injuries, their mental trauma for the last 48 hours. He gave a very clear message that the entire country is standing with them. Also, he met with the hospital staff as well, congratulated the hospital staff, appreciated the hospital staff that they were able to manage such a panicky situation very professionally, and made sure that the loss of lives which could have been increased if at all the hospital administration would not have been responsive, that has not been allowed to happen. They have been able to make sure that the people who came in injured, they were given the right sort of a treatment. They have been able to make sure that the family members who were panicking just minutes after the incident had happened, they were controlled in a way. They were given a sense of calmness initially, and then eventually they were allowed to go ahead and meet with their family members after the identification process of each and every person was done. So a lot of work has happened behind the scenes over the last 48 hours as well, and that is something that the Prime Minister has noticed, and that is one of the reasons why he decided to go ahead and come here and meet with the first responders, the people who are involved in making sure that the lives of people can be saved, they can be congratulated, they can be told that their work has been noticed. The others who are facing this massive physical pain and mental trauma, they could also meet with the Prime Minister, and then the Prime Minister has given a message that the entire country is standing with them in this hour of grief, and they will make sure that the perpetrators will be punished, is what the Prime Minister had to say right after the blast had happened. So the messaging from the government is very, very clear that not only they are standing with the staff, they are standing with the people, but they are taking this blast case as a very, very serious case, and none less than the Prime Minister is on the ground, is trying to gauge a sense of what is happening in the hearts and minds of people who saw this very, very tragic incident happening in front of their eyes.
Absolutely, and so far we've heard also what the kind of injuries are to the people that are still recuperating there. There are no shrapnel injuries is what we have confirmed, Anshul. Most of these injuries that we are now seeing that people are recuperating from are not that deep, are pretty much superficial is what we're given to understand.
There are injuries that have happened. A few of these injuries are actually very, very serious in nature. Though they are recuperating, they have been given the required aid that was required. There are a few people whose injuries who suffered a lot of bleeding right after the incident had happened, because as we have seen those post-mortem reports as well, in those reports it has come out that the cause of death of maximum people was due to excessive bleeding. Even the people who were injured, who were brought to the hospital, they were also continuously bleeding at that point in time. There were injuries. A few of them have sustained internal injuries as well because of the shock waves of the blast. You can imagine how loud that entire blast might have been, because the eardrums of people have been damaged, the intestines of people have been damaged, the lungs, in some cases of people who have lost their life, their lungs have burst out. So you can imagine the kind of sound that might have come over there, specifically to the people who were standing in very close vicinity. They were thrown off from their places. A few people lost their lives because as they were thrown by the waves of the blast, their heads got ahead and banged either on the roads or on the walls, due to which yet again massive injuries happened to them. So yes, there are a lot of injuries. Yes, there were no sharpness that have been found in any of the clothes of the people who have been admitted in the hospital or who have lost their lives. So one thing is confirmed, that sharpnels or other such sharp objects were not used in that explosive device that was used. This is absolutely confirmed at this point in time. But yes, there are other injuries that people are facing. A lot of people have superficial injuries, but what will happen to the mental trauma that these people have seen over the last 2 days, the manner in which they have seen the bodies lying around them, the manner in which they have seen ailing families around them, they have actually seen death and just have returned from death. So that mental trauma is something that is being looked into by the doctors over here as well. The right kind of counselling is also being provided over here. So the Prime Minister coming here and meeting with all these people definitely is a boost for all the mental trauma that these people have seen. The Prime Minister himself condoling them, trying to console them is a very good message, is a highly impactful message, specifically for the people who are fighting for their lives for the last 48 hours.
Absolutely, it's definitely a confidence-building measure as far as the Prime Minister is concerned. And it was the Union Home Minister Amit Shah who was the first one to visit them on the day of the attack, right after the blast had taken place near Red Fort Metro Station on the 10th of November. That evening itself, we saw the Union Home Minister at the LNJP Hospital, Anshul, and now the Prime Minister visiting there as well. But on the minds of these victims, on the minds of their families, there is going to be just one demand now, that this has to be avenged.
Well, definitely this has to be avenged. There are no two ways about it. And the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, the Defence Minister, all of them have come on record and have clarified this and have in fact said this very, very explicitly, that the investigations are underway and each and every person who is responsible for this blast in any way or any manner will not be spared. Jawab diya jayega is what the Prime Minister has also said. Their justice will be served. Is what the Prime Minister said from the stage in Bhutan as well. So the messaging from the administration is very clear. Taking forward that message, the Prime Minister, right after landing in India, coming to meet the victims, the first thing on his mind, this also gives a very clear message that India is not taking this attack or it is not taking this incident any lightly. This is a very serious incident that has happened. The top agencies of the country are looking into it. They are collecting each and every evidence. They are trying to figure out each and every person who could have been the part of this so-called white-collar terror nexus that was operating over here. Each and every person will be brought to the books. They will be punished in the right way.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Anshul, but Prime Minister Modi has just taken to social media. He's just taken to X to put out a tweet where he says, went to LNJP hospital and met those injured during the blast in Delhi, praying for everyone's quick recovery. Those behind the conspiracy will be brought to justice. That message has been once again put forth by the Prime Minister there, reiterating his commitment, his government's commitment to avenge the deaths of 8 people and the injuries that these people at LNJP hospital are still recovering from. The Prime Minister there once again saying that those behind the conspiracy will be brought to justice. Anshul, this is exactly what we were talking about, isn't it?
Well, yes, and that is what the messaging from the Indian government has been from day one. Since the time it was known that it was not a CNG blast as the initial information was trickling in, and it was known that it was a blast, an explosion that had happened in Chandni Chowk right in front of the Red Court. Since then, the entire Indian government has been very, very serious in making sure that they have all the evidences. At this point in time, the links have come up from across the border yet again, but the government is still trying to make sure that they have each and every evidence before they go ahead and officially call it an act of terrorism, because these evidences that are coming to the fore and the links that have emerged right from Jammu and Kashmir to Faridabad and from backwards of Jammu and Kashmir, if you see, links have emerged from Pakistan and Turkey as well in this entire case. So the messaging has absolutely been clear that the perpetrators would not be allowed to scoot free in any way or any manner. Taking that message forward, people will be brought to justice, is what the Prime Minister had to say from the stage in Bhutan, and then yet again landing in India, meeting with the victims initially, and then putting out this tweet. Yet again, the same message is reiterated that justice would be served, and that is what the people of India are waiting for, because the manner in which this entire incident has happened, the entire nexus, the entire module that has come to the fore, this has absolutely sent shockwaves across the country. The so-called white-collar terrorism, the white-collar fight for jihad is something that has come up for the first time and has definitely raised a lot of eyebrows. This time around, as the Prime Minister has just put out this tweet, the messaging is absolutely clear. A confidence-building measure that has been given from the side of the Prime Minister, that even as the incident has happened. Yes, we have suffered losses. We have lost our loved ones. We have lost the citizens of our country. But the government will not allow this to just be an incident, and definitely the avenge each and every person who has lost their life, their families who are ailing at this point in time. This message is for them that India will go ahead and take the requisite measures that are required at this point in time to in fact go ahead and give a very, very clear message that India will not stand any act of terrorism per se, or any act of aggression. If you try to do anything inside India, we will not sit quiet, and that is what the messaging is from the administration, from the Prime Minister. In the next few minutes, the CCS meeting will happen. That is going to be very, very crucial, as India will then decide the future course of action and the future responsibilities that could be given, that could be taken to actually make sure that that an answer is given in the right proportion to the people who have carried out this very, very dastardly attack.
Absolutely, and as far as the investigation goes, Anshul, that's gathering pace as well. Over the last 48 hours, several people have been detained, several raids have been conducted across the country. This entire terror nexus is being looked into. The cops, the NIA, it's a multi-agency coordinated effort that's being put into finding out who really was behind this conspiracy and how large it ran.
Yes, because this has come absolutely as a shock for everyone. Remember the manner in which this entire case of white-collar terrorism opened up when people were caught on CCTV pasting posters somewhere in South Kashmir, and then eventually the arrest of Dr. Adil from Saharanpur. He took the name of Dr. Muzammil from the Al Falah University, and then once Muzammil came into the grasp of the administration, the massive recoveries that had happened, all of this was under the radar, because before this no one had ever suspected that an educated person, a person who has studied science, specifically who has studied medical science, will actually go ahead and try to act in such a manner, fight for that so-called jihad or whatever it is called. The manner in which these people have been doing this has come as an absolute shock, and that is the reason why this multi-agency probe is still underway, even after the main case has been handed over to the NIA at this point in time to look into the reasons of the blast, how the blast happened, who were the people responsible. The local police, the local agencies are not also letting this go at this point. We have seen that the UPATS, Delhi Police Special Cell, Crime Branch, the Faridabad Police, Faridabad Crime Branch, all of them have been carrying out continuous raids from the last 48 hours, making sure that each and every person who was a part of this so-called white-collar terrorist nexus, they can be identified, they could be wiped off, is what the mission is at this point in time, and that is what is something that is being done by the agencies at this point. Yes, the investigation into the blast and who were responsible, that will go on, but the nexus that has spread its roots on the ground, that nexus is something that needs to be exposed. Each and every person who is the part of this nexus, they should be brought into the books, is what the aim of the local agencies is at this point in time. That is the reason why we saw that the brother of Dr. Shahina, who was a part of this entire nexus, who was given the task to indoctrinate other students in the Al Falah University, from whose vehicle the weapons were recovered. His brother has also been taken into custody. Their families are also being questioned. Their homes are also being raided, just to figure out each and every person who has any sort of contact with all these white-collar terrorists. They could be identified and they could be brought to the books.
Absolutely. Even as that investigation continues there, Anshul, do stay on with us, because the Prime Minister there providing a healing touch to the victims, meeting with them right on his arrival to India from Bhutan. Aman also joining us, getting us more perspective. Aman, when the Pahalgam terror attack had happened, the Prime Minister was in Qatar at the time. Right when he arrived, even right on the tarmac, he had a security briefing. He was apprised of all the developments that took place. This time around as well, right after the attack, upon his arrival to India, he's made sure that his first stop is with the victims.
Well, Poonam, I think that shows the urgency with which the Prime Minister is acting in this present matter. Even if you know, when soon as the Delhi blast had happened, the Prime Minister had spoken to Home Minister Amit Shah. He had asked Home Minister Amit Shah to rush to the LNJP hospital to meet the patients, as well as to go to the spot of the blast, at the Red Fort site. And Home Minister Amit Shah had gone there. The Prime Minister had to go for this pre-scheduled visit to Bhutan the next morning. But I must tell you that even in Bhutan, the Prime Minister had been keeping a close eye on the developments happening back home here, the kind of revelations that the investigating agencies have been making since the last 48 hours. The Prime Minister has had a very, very close eye on what has been developing even before leaving. The Prime Minister has said that the investigating agencies are trying to join the dots, and he had said that the plotters behind this strike will not be spared. And even today when he landed at the airport, from the airport straight away, he's gone to the LNJP hospital, met the injured patients there. There are close to 15 to 16 people who are injured and who are now recovering after this dastardly blast which has happened at the Red Fort. From here, the Prime Minister is straight going to 7 LKM, from where action is going to start from 5 p.m. when senior ministers start to arrive at 7 LKM, and there is going to be a cabinet committee on security meeting, followed by a full cabinet meeting today. This is the repeat of what had happened soon after the Pahalgam terror attack, when the Prime Minister returned from Saudi Arabia, and then you saw him holding a CCS in soon after that day. And the Prime Minister, I remember that after that CCS meeting, a clear statement was issued that the Prime Minister had given the armed forces the free hand to go after the perpetrators and the plotters of the Pahalgam terror strike. We'll have to wait and see what are the directions issued at the today's CCS meeting. But the government is very clear that this particular terror strike, has a wide implications. There is a Faridabad module, there is a Pulwama module, the links that have been exposed. A full report will be presented to the Prime Minister by Home Minister Amit Shah when the CCS meeting happens. This is a report put together on the entire investigation by the NIA, by the JNK police, by the other units which have been looking at this entire matter. The Prime Minister will be briefed in detail on where the agencies are, the various arrests which have been made, the suicide bomber who has died in this particular, strike that he has done, Dr. Umar, and what this entire module is about. I think the Prime Minister is very, very clear, and even in his tweet soon after meeting the injured at the LNJP hospital, he has said that those behind the conspiracy will be brought to justice. So I think the Prime Minister is very clear. We must keep in mind, Poonam, that Operation Sindoor is only on pause. It has not been, ended. And India has very clearly maintained that any future act of terror against India will be seen as an act of war, treated like an act of war. So how the government now responds, will this Jaish-e-Mohammed connection become more clearer by the evening? Is there a Pakistan hand? We'll all have to wait and see what the investigation shows. But I think the government is very clear in its intent that they want to go after the perpetrators, the plotters, and the Prime Minister has given that call himself first before leaving for Bhutan, and now as soon as he has landed back.
And the Prime Minister there meeting with the victims at the LNJP hospital is also testament to the fact that he wants to tell the people who are aggrieved by this that the government of the day and the entire country does stand with them. That's the kind of confidence building measure that's also required for the victims and for the rest of the country in the aftermath of such a terror attack, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. And the Prime Minister had said even before leaving for Bhutan that it's a very distressing incident. This is an incident which has pained him a lot. People are also shocked and pained because the blast right outside the Red Fort, also is a very symbolic, I would say, a terror act which has been carried out to challenge the government in a way, do a blast in a moving car which has left at least 9 people dead, many injured. I think the government, first terror strike in Delhi after a gap of 14 years. So, Delhi has been relatively completely safe since the Modi government has come. Those past serial blasting have been a thing of the past. Even in this particular incident, the government is, very clear that they have averted a much bigger catastrophic incident because of the seizures which were made over the last few days from Pulwama to Saharanpur to Faridabad. Nearly 3,000 kg of explosives, assault rifles, everything was seized by the authorities. But this one man, Dr. Umar, managed to slip through the cracks and drive the car from Faridabad to Delhi and do this blast. But still, the government managed to avert a bigger, terror attack, maybe a multiple serial attack where the kind of explosives and arms that these people from Pulwama had collected. So I think the Prime Minister has been very clear that no terror attack, the government has a zero tolerance policy towards terror. In this incident, the government will get to the bottom of the matter, that are these plotters, across the border, what is the real conspiracy behind it? The Prime Minister is repeatedly using the word conspiracy, Shadyantra. And that is what the agencies are also trying to get to the bottom of. And I think the report which is presented to the Prime Minister today evening of the investigation over the last 48 hours could make many things clearer. We may be wiser by the late evening on what really the government now plans to do.
Absolutely. At 5:30 is when those crucial meetings are going to be held. Our continuous coverage here will continue even after this very quick break. But I do request my colleagues to stay on as we piece together this entire conspiracy, the terror network, and how deep really the dot runs.